Redditors of Reddit, what do you think is the biggest secret being kept from mankind? People that are secretly alive, but dead for the public life and vice versa. I like to believe Kim Jong-un is already dead. The person posing for the pictures after his surgery is a doppelganger set up by his evil sister, Kim Yo-jong, who's always been the real mastermind. I'm absolutely convinced Epstein is alive and I have no evidence to corroborate my conspiracy theory other than a gut feeling. Not so much a secret, but I think there are events that happened in the past we'll never know about that would blow our minds. Same thing for people who were interesting, incredible, unique, super talented, etc. that were never documented. Recording history has always been shoddy at best, the further back you go. I bet even if we went back 150 years there would be things that occurred that would be historically incredible, but since they weren't recorded we'll never know about them. Stephen Jay Gould said it, I am, somehow, less interested in the weight and convolutions of Einstein's brain than in the near certainty that people of equal talent have lived and died in cotton fields and sweatshops. CIA propaganda manipulation techniques and the extent of their reach. The only reason we know about MKUltra is because it didn't work. We know about MKUltra because of a single sheaf of documents that weren't destroyed. All we know about the entire quarter century or more the program ran comes from that one group of papers and testimony from CIA assets, scientists, and victim subjects during the hearings in the 90s. There's no reason to believe we know everything about the program. Furthermore, MKUltra grew out of other side odd projects like Artichoke, so the program may have changed enough to simply be reclassified but not stopped entirely. There are testimonies from other alleged test subjects that go into some pretty dark places. Some of these are certainly made up, false memories, or people with existing mental problems, but some could be true. One from Tucson alleges she was raped repeatedly and trained to kill her stuffed animals, and possibly real animals. It fits in the realm of possibility, and other testimonies we've heard that I can't completely discount it. That farther we look in the past the more we're guessing. The earth swallows up so much of our history. I'm sure there are many ancient civilizations that will never be discovered because there's nothing left. That most conspiracy theories are actually the conspiracy in of itself. That certain parties are creating crazy conspiracies to confuse the masses between reality and fiction to make them more easily controlled, manipulated. The Air Force literally did this with aliens to obscure various aircraft tests. It's amazing how many UFOs were described as triangular and pointy in the decade before the F-117 became public knowledge. I'm 92% sure the toilet paper shortages was a weird joke that got out of hand. True history, I genuinely believe that there have been things discovered in the past that tell a different story of the past and are intentionally hidden. I guess this isn't a secret, but humanity seems to forget quite often. There is next to no privacy in the modern age. If you're reading this, your information, search histories, shopping trends, personal connections etc. are currently being monitored and sold in the information trade. Facebook does not give a shit about your aunt's pie recipes, but they'll be the first ones to start advertising the ingredients. The fact there is no privacy, ironically helps give us privacy. It's like looking for a dead pixel in static. Actively trying to seek privacy now, makes you stand out more, like putting a sticker over the dead pixel. I believe this until machine learning and AI became so commonplace. For $1,000 Oz will look at all the dead pixels you can imagine. This is the key. When people think of the government listening in or reading emails, they think of a huge room with hundreds of people just listening to junk, like in the Simpsons movie. But with software now plus the sheer amount of data available for machine learning, one server can process millions of conversations at once. We haven't lost privacy, we've gained a way for it to be weaponized. The location of all these hot singles in my area.
What if you're the sexy single?
That there are people in the world that are richer than the known richest people in the world. If you are that rich, you can afford to be anonymous, too. I'm not saying that Jeff Bezos isn't rich. I'm sure he is. I just believe that there are a tiny group of people that have more wealth than Bezos, and that they've used that wealth to hide the fact that they are that wealthy from the world. There definitely are. Most people assume that the richest people in the world are on the Forbes list. Meanwhile, Forbes states that we list individuals rather than multi-generational families who share fortunes, and also we do not include royal family members or dictators who derive their fortunes entirely as a result of their position of power, nor do we include royalty who, often with large families, control the riches in trust for their nation. The categories that Forbes does not disclose is where the real money is. When I was younger, I read a story in the news of a company that had come up with a bacteria that they would put into your mouth. This bacteria was harmless to people, but ate the bacteria that damages our teeth. It would have destroyed the dental industry. For some reason, I never saw it again. That with all of the alliances between nations, the trade deals, economic policies, mission statements, enmities, backroom dealings, spy networks, wars etc., the powerful don't have the amount of control or vision that we like to believe that they have. The big secret is that it's all a lie. The only thing holding civilization together is that the vast majority of people think that even though the powerful are corrupt, they are at least competent to hold civilization together. They are not. 2020 is just a taste of that reality. A great quote from Alan Moore comes to mind here. The main thing that I learned about conspiracy theory is that conspiracy theorists believe in a conspiracy because that is more comforting. The truth of the world is that it is actually chaotic. The truth is that it is not the Illuminati, or the Jewish banking conspiracy, or the grey alien theory. The truth is far more frightening. Nobody is in control. The world is rudderless. I don't know, it's a secret from mankind. We've already made alien contact and they want nothing to do with us. The next possible earth-ending force. There's a very strong possibility that NASA and the space industry know what it is and when it will happen, but won't inform the general public until it passes altogether, or, if there is absolute certainty it will occur, minutes before it happens. It is because there would be literally nothing we could do about it and they would not want to cause major havoc in our last minutes alive. If there is literally nothing we could do about it, why even bother telling us then at all? Just let us all keep going about our lives until poof, it ends. That brings up an interesting discussion. Let's say we know that the world is gonna end in 100 years by a huge black hole swallowing entire planet. Would the world still continue to work as it is today? I think all hell would break loose. That the Salvation Army is a giant fucking scam. They use the homeless or the courts to enlist addicts scared of jail time or ex-cons with nowhere to parole to as basically slaves. I personally went to one. I had to work 5 days a week, 40-hour weeks, for no pay in their warehouse sorting donations, but at the end of the week they gave us a gratuity of like $7 that maxed out to $20, bumped up $1 a week. If you contradict their two-faced Christian ways, they will smile at ya while they boot ya out the door, knowing there is another 10 hard-pressed fuckers waiting to come in. I have personally seen an arranged marriage happen while there from a member who joined and went down the rabbit hole of the cult that is Salvation Army. I remember these fuckers also asked for donations every Sunday from us and took like 50 cents for missionaries out of the gratuity they gave us. I have never been more morally violated in any other place in my life, but was in quite the hard spot. Fuck, I cringe on how many times I had to shut my mouth. Upon entry you have to tell them your religion. My friend there is Jewish. I've never seen someone get more shit in my life for being Jewish, not trying to convert but just degrading them for their religious upbringing. The greatest unknown. That the overarching supposition of TV news that the natural state of things is to go well and will do so if the corrupt and the stupid are continually exposed is the greatest falsehood ever, and that it persists only because corruption and stupidity make obscene amounts of money available to those perpetuating belief in it. The ability of TV news to censor all sustained, deep analysis of its effects on society is the greatest existential threat to liberal democracy. Read Virginia Postral's works. Not really secrets, but we will never solve climate change, not for lack of technology. Simply because humans are unlikely to adopt a new way of doing things in time to stop it. Every major company in the world is deep in debt and their infrastructures are flawed. Which means, if you pull back the curtains far enough, you realize they are all being held together with duct tape and bubble gum. It's either that aliens exist and they know about us, or that we're the aliens, not native to Earth at all, possibly ancestors of an old Martian race who came here to escape war, famine, or another disaster that made Mars uninhabitable. Mars is long dead, but there's evidence to suggest it could have once held life. They won't ever tell us. It would cause absolute chaos if they did. 2020 really is the series finale. Victorious. That's it for now. Don't tell anyone about these secrets, except maybe in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.